Hello guys, it's Talia. So it feels like just a couple days ago, the Helios with 3D was announced, the Helios 300 SpatialLabs Edition. Probably could have made that a bit shorter, but it wasn't a couple days ago, it was exactly a year ago. Basically to this day. And it's already back with new specs, new tech, and a new name. Helios 3D. Much better. So if the laptop looks the same, it's because the shell almost is. It has that pitch black color, really angular lines, and a little shelf at the back sticking out, little booty. Sorry, that's where you'll find your charging and display ports. I like that idea. It's nice to keep the bigger cables out of the way. And there's also a healthy amount of USB Type A's and Type C's, which I love to see. There's been a slight redesign on the intakes at the front and the exhaust at the back, and they look really clean. It looks a little bit more professional. It's kind of funny to me to see gaming laptops, the progression of gaming laptops today compared to way back when it was like big logos, thick design, and just red everywhere. I like what we've transitioned to. Gaming laptops, they do be looking kind of classy now, I'm not gonna lie. And most importantly for 2023, the specs of the Helios 3D have been updated. So we have from the 12900H processor last year to the 13900HX right now, on this very day, in this very laptop, which is very exciting because it's overclockable, it has a higher boost clock speed, and it has a whole 10 more cores. 10 of them. And the biggest upgrade here is going to be seen in the multi-core performance, which is especially helpful for anything that requires 3D. Perfect. Now, obviously we are here for the gaming, but you can also use the 3D tech on this laptop to transform native 2D content into 3D, things like photos, videos, use side-by-side content in 3D, and of course for 3D modeling. It's really just amazing at that. And being the absolute powerhouse that it is, if you had a second screen, you could use that boring 2D screen to edit and then use the swanky 3D screen to render the model in real time. Super cool. I wish I knew how to 3D model. That would be really cool to show, but I'm not that smart. Damn it. Now, gaming. So since last year's Helios, there's been a few upgrades on the software side of the 3D, so much so that when I used this year's model, I thought it had like a whole new panel, something new had been implemented, because last year's 3D effect was amazing, but something about this one feels really refined to the eye. It's more clear, but the panel's the same. It's still a 4K 60Hz IPS screen and LED backlit, so it's really bright with 100% coverage of Adobe. You can really tell because it's a really good looking panel. It's worth noting this 4K resolution is reserved for anything 2D and it uses a 2K res for 3D. But I didn't notice. I was playing God of War earlier and everything looked so pretty. Kratos is like, thanks, girl. No, but the scenery, the lighting, which is down to the panel, the updated 3D software, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and of course the graphics. Can't go this far without mentioning NVIDIA's 4080 card inside with 12 gigabytes of video memory. Amazing. The performance is mighty, the frame rates are awesome, and the ray tracing is better than ever. But back to the game, how the 3D works is that it gives a depth of field, it gives layers to the surroundings around you. And I noticed, especially this time, the things that are very close to you, they look so clear and so defined. It's kind of strange. My eyes didn't feel like they were tired from looking at a screen, which they usually are, or tired from looking at the 3D, which they also would be. But I don't know, it felt almost easier on the eyes than regular gaming. I know that doesn't really make sense. I think it's so good at emulating how you see in real life, where you see layers of things, your focus is on the closest thing to you, and that's why it does feel good on the eyes. Just my theory. In the software, I did notice there's a new 3D mode called 3D Ultra, which I think is a big factor here. So it's like an upgraded version of the regular 3D, which I believe is what I tried last year. So instead of doing it the regular way, which is getting a 2D image with many layers and then separating those layers to make it look 3D, it does the same thing, it separates the layers, but then it makes each layer itself three-dimensional. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to try and put up a diagram of it. There's also been some other adjustments in the software too, where you can play around with the depth of field and 3D pop out, so you can tailor make it to really whatever feels best for your eyes, which is really helpful. The 3D hardware itself works the same by two eye tracking cameras at the top, one for each eye, which project a separate image, one for each eye, for your brain to then perceive as one whole 3D image. It's really interesting. It's also fun to see the amount of games. Last year there was around 50 games that supported this, and now it looks like there's around 90, 100, and then with more of them getting updated with this 3D Ultra feature as well. So you have God of War, Devil May Cry, Darksiders, Tomb Raider, Fallout, Stray, with the cats. I love that game. Oh, and Skyrim, which just give me any reason to start it all over again. Sorry, I feel like this video wasn't very techy, but for me, the most exciting thing, I keep saying exciting, but it is, the most exciting thing is just how it works. how it looks, how it feels on the eyes. I really recommend finding out where stocks this and trying it out for yourself, because I've never seen anything like this. I used to hate 3D, hate VR. Sorry, I'm very sensitive, but this amazes me. Those games look so cinematic and it just makes you want to see and explore more. And aside from the gaming, Acer's laptops that use this SpatialLabs technology have massively open doors in fields like engineering, architecture, design, and medicine. That's really cool. That's important. Let me know what you think of the Helios 3D down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.